A popular voice at both KTIB and KHOM for nearly 20 years was Dave Buras, and as you are about to hear, he's always to the point. Mr. Dave Buras, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Are you from our area originally?
No, I was born and raised in New Orleans.
Okay. Well, growing up, was getting into broadcasting always an interest of yours?
That was somewhere in the back of my mind, but I never really took it seriously or thought about it until I got into college. And then somebody had approached me and suggested I try it. And what I did is I started and I enlisted in a broadcasting school. And they provided me with some training, and back then you had to get a license, what they called a third phone with an endorsement, and that was the course that you took to get the license, and then they helped you find a job. So I started, and they helped me find my first job in Louisiana, in Bastrop, and then I moved on from Bastrop to KTIB.
Okay, and what year was that you came down to KTIB?
1971.
Well, at the time, if my memory is right, was the station manager Hugh Smith?
Right, that's correct.
Okay, how was your dealings with him?
Well, pretty good. I had a basic DJ job. It only lasted a couple of months at that point because soon after I was number 5, I believe, or number 11 in the draft, and they were still drafting people, and I had just come out of college, and they told me that I had to enlist in the National Guard or something, and so I had to go and leave for my basic training, and then I came back, and then I decided to do something else after that. So that was my first encounter with KTIB, and it only lasted about maybe 4 or 5 months.
Okay, where did you end up going from there?
From there, I went back to New Orleans for a while and did a series of other jobs because while I was in basic training, I had lost my mother, and I decided to stay with my father for a while. And then after that, I had stayed in New Orleans, did a series of jobs, got married, and I got out of broadcasting for a while until I got hooked up with a station in Port Sulphur called KHEY, and I had done news and morning DJ and did some sales too over there.
All righty. Now, didn't eventually you came back to our area at KHOM?
Mm-hmm. That's right. From when I was at KHEY, I met Raymond Sadie, who happened to walk into the building one day and heard me reading news and offered me a job, said if you ever want to make a move to Houma, Louisiana, let me know.
Mm-hmm. And so I take it the relationship you had with him must have been pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Well, it lasted 19 years.
Wow. And I take it all the years you were down there, I believe one gentleman who a lot of us knew from, I believe he did news and a lot of announcing as well, Roy Vigner. He must have been another good fellow to work with.
Oh, very good, very good.
Okay, and also, were you there when Rick Luquette was there?
Mm-hmm, that's right. He was a good friend of mine.
Very good. Now, so how long, what was the last year that you were at KHOM?
Last year was 1996.
Okay, and what have you done since then?
Well, I got out of the business, basically, and I went into decided to do something else. I got into building materials and worked a few years at Hilby and Lumber, and I'm currently at Lowe's.
All righty. Now, let's go ahead and talk about a lady I mentioned when we first talked on the phone who speaks very highly of you still at KTIB, Rainey Blanchard. Y'all two must have really hit it off pretty well.
Yeah, Rainey was one of the people that helped train when she started out, and we did get along very well.
Okay. And now all the years that you were in radio, especially in our area, being with, like you just mentioned, a 19-year working relationship with Mr. Sadie, was radio a pretty fun business to be in?
Oh, yeah. I felt I had basically carte blanche, the run of the station, the things that I wanted to do in radio during those years. Any challenge, any idea that I had as far as programming or production, I really enjoyed. And it was a creative outlet, and I always felt that my job was like a hobby, and vice versa, a hobby was a job.
Before we head out on the interview, is there anything you'd like to say to all the wonderful listeners?
Just keep on listening.
Dave Buras,
a straightforward personality and proud member of KTIB and KHOM history.
One name that was part of KTIB in the 1950s was Lanny Bourne. Let's catch up with him on then AM 630's formative years. Lanny Bourne, how are you today?
Fine, William. How are you?
Let's start from the beginning. I take it you are from our area originally?
Yes, I am from Thibodaux, born and raised in Thibodaux.
Okay. And did you also go to Thibodaux High?
Went to Thibodaux High and then attended Nichols